Hi everybody, Brian McNichols here from touringplans.com, and I have got another map. I know I've gotten requests for all the ones I didn't do, both Disneyland parks. I haven't done Islands of Adventure yet, but I decided to finish off Disney World with Hollywood Studios. Why? Because it's such a weird park right now. I mean, look how tiny the map is. The other ones have been like this big. But anyway, it's a weird park because there's not a ton to do, so everything gets pretty compressed. A lot of construction going on. Everything is going to change next year for Toy Story Land and the year after for Star Wars Land. So I figure I might as well run through it now because I'm definitely going to have to go through it again as new stuff starts to open. So let's go. Let's start looking at this. Here, we'll orient you. The way it's positioned looks odd to me, I think because for years they put the entrance at the bottom, even though this is north facing this way. So here is the entrance. Parking lots are all out here. Come in Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard ending in Tower of Terror, which I have very terribly colored orange because I couldn't really find the right color scheme for it. Don't worry about it. Rock and Roller Coaster over here, red guitar. All the way back here is Fantasmic, which that's a long walk back there. Feels like it too. Come down here, center stage. Right here is the old great movie ride, Animation Courtyard, Journey of the Little Mermaid, the Star Wars launch bay right now. Back here is Pixar Place, Toy Story Midway Mania. Over here is the Echo Lake area. This is Indiana Jones, Frozen Sing-Along. Back here, Star Tours and Kermit and the Muppet Vision 3D. On this map, it is still labeled as Muppets Courtyard. That is not true anymore. This whole area is now Grand Avenue. Grand Avenue itself actually runs right about here. I couldn't find a picture of an updated map, so I'm using a sort of recent one, but it doesn't have Grand Avenue. The new Baseline Tap House is like right there. Grand Avenue runs here. They call this whole area now Grand Avenue, even though they just changed the new Muppets Courtyard like 6 months ago. They don't even know what they're doing with this stuff. For the new stuff, Star Wars Land is kind of all down here. Toy Story Land is all over here. So that's why this map is so tiny, because basically it would go all the way out here and down and around. It'd still be oddly shaped, but this park, man, they did not design this with people movement in mind. Most of the other ones either go with the hub and spoke like Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom do. Epcot is fairly straight up and down. This one, I mean, you come in, you go around lakes, you go behind buildings. There's another pathway back here. It's kind of a mess. So let's start how we start all of these. Where do people go when the park opens? What are the hot spots in here, the most popular things? It's pretty easy with Hollywood Studios because there are only 4 rides. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. There are 4 rides. There's a bunch of shows and stuff. 4 rides. Those rides are Toy Story Midway Mania, Star Tours, which I probably should have marked with an X-Wing or something, but it's right here. Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror. That's it. The most popular ones are Toy Story and Rock and Roller Coaster for first thing in the morning. One of the stranger things about Hollywood Studios, because they don't have a lot of rides, and because some of the shows don't start until 9:30 or 10 in the morning, it might actually be better to go in the evening rather than in the morning. In the evening, there are more shows. Plus, if you want to see the fireworks, they have the Galaxy Far, Far Away Star Wars fireworks that are in this area. And then of course, Fantasmic up there. Those are obviously both at night. So, and it's kind of a hard park to spend all day in. You can do it, don't get me wrong. If you want to go and spend your whole day and see all the shows and everything, you can totally do it. So let's start with before you get there, Fast Passes. Fast Passes are also kind of tricky because there are 2 tiers at Hollywood Studios. That means you can't just get the 3 most popular attractions out of, the 4. The top tier is Toy Story, Rock and Roller Coaster, Fantasmic, and Beauty and the Beast live on stage. So you can only get one of those. Honestly, it probably doesn't matter between Toy Story and Rock and Roller Coaster which one you get. I tend to prefer getting Rock and Roller Coaster, and I'll explain why in just a second. But get one of those 2 if you can, and then do the other one first thing in the morning if you're there in the morning. And I'll explain what to do when you get there in the evening in a few minutes. Get one of those 2. Then the second tier Fast Passes are pretty much everything else, including Tower of Terror and Star Tours. Those are the 2, if you want to ride them, those are the 2 obviously that you would get there because Again, 4 attractions. You can get fast passes for the shows, but it doesn't help you all that much. All it really does is make sure you get in, and you can get in a little bit before the general public, so you can get a seat kind of closer, but you still have to be there 15 or 20 minutes before the show. In most cases, if you're there 15 or 20 minutes before the show, you're getting in, and there are no real bad seats in any of these anyway. Even in the height of the summer, I walked into a For the First Time in Forever show literally as they were about to close the doors, and got to sit in like the 4th row, just a little off center, because it's a big theater and it wasn't super busy at the time. So it's hard to recommend getting the fast passes for the shows. If you don't want to do one of the rides, if you don't want to do Tower of Terror, then by all means, grab one for the show just so you have it, but you don't necessarily need it. I said I preferred the Rock and Roller Coaster Fast Pass. The reason I like doing that is what I like to do is make my Rock and Roller Coaster Fast Pass and my Tower of Terror Fast Pass back to back, touching each other. You can't overlap them, Disney doesn't allow it. And what I would do is make that Rock and Roller Coaster one fairly early in the morning. Maybe not 9 a.m., but like 9:30 at least. What you would do then is come in, go straight back to Toy Story Midway Mania, then make your way back up Sunset to Rock and Roller Coaster. So if you have that Fast Pass from 9 to 10, you can hit this around probably 9:30, 9:45. Then when you're getting off there, if you made your Tower of Terror one for 10 a.m., you can either jump right on there or mill around on Sunset, look in the gift shops for 10 or 15 minutes, and then go do that. It makes it a lot easier because this is all a dead end down here anyway. So this way you don't have to keep walking back and forth. Then that Star Tours one, you can make for right after that, for 11 to 12 a.m. Then come over here, see some of the 1 or 2 of the shows, eat lunch. Backlot Express is my favorite quick service. Hollywood Brown Derby is the best of the table service, and they have that little outdoor area that you don't need reservations for, and some sandwiches like a margarita flight or something, and then you can head all the way back here. Muppet Vision 3D also don't need a fast pass. It's a continuous show, so do that, and then you can you're kind of done. You can see whatever shows you missed: Indiana Jones Stunt Show, Disney Junior, The Little Mermaid show here, also a continuously running show, so you can see that whenever. And then you're pretty much golden. By, early afternoon, you can move to another park. You can go back to your resort for swimming or nap, come back, see the nighttime entertainment if you want. Now, if you either don't want to do it in the morning or only want to make one trip to Hollywood Studios, what's nice is to go right around an early dinner time, say like 5 o'clock. Go in there, see if you can grab fast passes. Sometimes you can get a same-day fast pass for, one of the attractions. If not, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Check the wait times. Use your Lines app, your WDW Lines app from touringplans.com. See what the actual wait times are. Star Tours is usually not too bad. Toy Story Midway Mania, now that they have the 3 tracks, is not too bad either. Tower of Terror usually doesn't get crazy wait times, barring mechanical problems, which happen sometimes. Any that had a larger wait time, like Rock and Roller Coaster or Toy Story, wait until a little bit before the fireworks and do those. Usually those wait times will be down to somewhere between like 15 and 30 minutes a lot of times as people start to get their spots for the fireworks. So now you will be sacrificing a really close spot for the fireworks, but you don't necessarily need that. You could be standing back on Hollywood Boulevard and see it, well enough. And I think that's basically it. It's not that hard a park to deal with, despite the fact that everything is compressed. So go ahead, hit me below with any questions you have. And if you like this, go back, look, I have other map videos for all the Disney World parks now. Make sure you keep an eye on our YouTube page. Subscribing is the best way to do that, because in a few weeks, I'm going to be in Disney World shooting all new videos. I'm gonna do kind of stuff like this about the crowds, live in the parks, show you what I'm telling you here, show you where these people go. So go ahead, tell me what you want to see live in the parks, and I will do that for you too. And if you like this, why don't you give me a thumbs up and like it? I don't know if that actually helps, but it makes me feel good. Till next time, thank you for watching. Be excellent to each other.